Yo, so I don't know if it's just me or perhaps there's other people feeling like this, but it's come to a point that I am just pure tired of seeing anything about Charlie Kirk. I think I'm gonna call this phenomenon the Kirk fatigue. There's people talking about black fatigue, I've seen a video about Indian fatigue, but there's no one talking about being tired of having a state propaganda being pushed onto you. Now, let's get one thing straight. Kirk did not deserve to die for the beliefs he espoused. Yes, he indeed spread some hateful rhetoric regarding certain groups of people. Yes, this is a Trump loyalist we're talking about. And yes, he has this yuck-ass smile. But does that mean off him? No. But even saying that, let's just be so for real for like 2 seconds right now. When you're saying shit against Israel and you're talking all these things about gun rights and everything, it's kind of hard not to say that he had it coming. And that doesn't mean he deserved it, but at the same time, if it wasn't for the way he went out, I would hardly care that a pro-gun idiot got sniped. But the person in question who tragically was slaughtered isn't the cause of the Kirk fatigue. The movement the man aligned himself with is to blame. MAGA's whole reaction to Kirk's demise was nothing but a LARP fest. They would have never done the types of things they're doing for this podcaster, for John McCain, rest in peace, or even Mike Pence if he were to give up the ghost right now. And after seeing the statement that his widow gave, I'm convinced that she needs to start a Hollywood career because this is some S-tier acting. And S-tier LARPing as well. If this person was half a shade darker, they would have executed him long before a trial could even take place. The more news I see about MAGA antagonizing liberals over Kirk's death or doing something in quote memory of Kirk, the less sympathy I have towards the actual guy himself and his family. At first, I felt some degree of sympathy, albeit not much, because he had his entire life ended for saying what he believed in. But when the brass at MAGA and the White House started to put it on the news everywhere, it just felt like another point of contention in some debate that I don't care about. At first, I was very against people celebrating Kirk's demise on platforms like TikTok, but as MAGA started to make a whole spectacle of his death, I started to just not care that these people were happy to see a violent unaliving with their own 2 eyes. It honestly reminds me of what they do in North Korea when their supreme leader passes. Everyone in that country has to cry or they risk getting consequences, if you catch my drift. And when you couple along the fact that companies are terminating people for giving an objective statement on their whole Kirk situation, it's almost like the current administration wants to force us to feel bad and are willing to tread on our First Amendment rights in order to do so. What sucks even more is how much LARPing is going on in the places where our laws are being made. Like a Charlie Kirk Remembrance Day, October 14th. Are we really serious right now? Of all the reasons to make a holiday, we're choosing the birthday of this random retarded right-wing grifter? Yeah, this country at this point is a damn joke right now. Not only that, but our elected officials are pushing it to put him on a coin, like anyone's going to be using one of those in this shitty economy. And it's not just a MAGA using his death as reason number 10,925 to why anyone who's not a straight white Christian nationalist male sucks. It's like they're using it for something else. Something more. The Republican Party just lost a seat in the House of Representatives, and yet Mike Johnson, the majority speaker, refuses to swear the newly elected Arizona representative in. When you think about the type of spectacle they made of Kirk's demise and his burial procession, and then think about when Representative Adelita was elected, and also think about the fact that it was the same day that the Kirk procession happened that the Senate voted to block the release of the e-files, if you catch my drift, it almost seems like there's something more to this. Now, I do think it's a bit of a stretch and a crazy conspiracy theory to say that Kirk was MAGA's sacrificial lamb to be this like smokescreen to divert attention away from the files, but it makes sense why anybody would come up with that theory in the first place. The timing of all these events just seems too convenient. One thing's for sure though, them doing all of this only convinces me more that there's names on that list that the Republicans don't want released, and one in particular. But overall, with this short video I'm making, what I'm trying to say is this. Charlie Kirk was murdered in a very vicious way roughly 3 weeks ago, and it's bad that it's happened, but he's gone, and there's nothing that anyone in the world can do about that, and that's how life goes. He's dead, and it's time to move on